So basically, this is I'm audible, right? If I'm not wrong, I think I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, fine. So AWS Lambda. So Lambda is nothing but a service which is provided by the AWS. So every cloud flow provider has its own serverless computing actually. So after so AWS has its own so called as AWS Lambda. So this is basically an serverless event-driven mechanism. So basically, there are so trigger this Lambda functions. There are over 200 AWS services as well, and apart from this, we can even configure API through it to activate this Lambda. So basically, what the Lambda is a software as a service actually. So basically, our code runs in this actually. Our code is given in the language Node.js, Python, Ruby, Java, Go language, C as well. It can support with various various version in it. So we need to the languages are known as runtime languages. So this code is run in the Lambda function, and it has a source and a destination points, as I'll be showing you how the outlook will be looking of the Lambda function. So basically, this is how you create the template of Lambda function. So basically, this is a function that is given, the name has to be given, and in the runtime, you need to specify in which language you are going to write the script. So the architecture and all. So basically, how it's look after creating it, this is how it looks actually. So this is how the dashboard, I would say, the view of the Lambda function, how it looks. So basic, this is just a basic one. Now I'll be elaborating you the things of hello. Yeah, just I'll be elaborating you. Yeah, this is a PPT. So just I'll be what I'll be doing is I'll be redirecting you to the the Lambda page. So what I have demonstrated, I'll be exploring.
Yeah, so now you are going to log into Amazon and you are going to create Lambda map.
Yeah, which is already been there. I'll just going to elaborate it with this. Okay, fine. 1 minute. PPT. So basically, this is a Lambda function where I have given. So the function name, the runtime was Python.
So the navigation path.
Okay, sure. So this is the services which is mentioned within the search box. We need to go with the Lambda. So this is how the Lambda basically looks. When you already here, it is already showing that there is already a one Lambda function available. In previously, it will be blank actually. You need to create one. So while creating one, this is how you need to do. So this is a thing actually. So you need to specify the function name to identify purpose and the runtime. That is a language what you are going to write in. So the architecture and all the permission is mandatory here. So the Lambda function needs permission to access the other services in the AWS. So for that, we need to give an role, IAM role basically. So which is I have already created to check start EC2 instance, or else I can here specify the role name and all, or else I can create a Lambda function. Here I will be navigating to IAM console. So the services for what I am giving, the IAM role. The IAM role I am giving for Lambda function. So I'll be selecting Lambda function. So I'll be proceeding with the next further. And this is the administration. So that further we can directly give, so that Lambda can talk with any services in the AWS. But this is not the best practice that we use in the real-time production. So what we do is if we need any communication that has to be done with only EC2 instance, then we'll be only specifying EC2, what kind of permissions that you needed, EC2 full access you needed or EC2 read only. So as we are going, we can only select with EC2 full access so that it can do read, write and changes to the instances as well. So this is how you configure, and then you can go on next. You create a role name here. And just you click on create role, then your role is good to go. So as I already said, so this is how I have created, and after specifying this, I have to create, I have to select the name what I have specified in the IAM role. So it will be popping up here. So create a function, it will be creating a function, then you will be seeing like this, something like this. So you need to get inside it actually. So this is how it is done. So basically you need to see Lambda function in a 3 perspective. One is of triggering the Lambda function, as it is already said that it is an event driven mechanism. So basically it should have a triggering mechanism and a source code. This is a layer. So layer is something which is a piece of codes, can be, I would say, or within the same code, single code. Now this is a single layer, I would say that, rather I could say that this is a single layer. And the destination is a third part. What I would say that the destination we can provide anything. So we could SNS topic or Lambda function, we can trigger another Lambda function. So we can specify it like this. So even in the triggers, as I said, there are 200 plus applications that can trigger the Lambda function. So these are the API gateways here. Load balancers, CloudFront is the one. Code commit. These are the many services that are available to invoke a Lambda function, I would say. So this is how it is. So basically this is this is how it looks actually. So I'll be configured in the destination. I have configured SNS topic. So how this SNS topic is configured. So I have created a topic here. Let me navigate to an SNS topic. So here I have created and specify the name and create the next step. Then I'll be clicking onto the next step. Then it will be a new topic will be created, that is of SNS topic. So under this SNS topic, after it is created, the main part that has to be taken is ARN. Under this ARN only we are going to run our application. I mean the next process will be running. So basically what we have to do, SNS is a simple notification service where it will be notifying us. So what I have did is I have created under a topic, I have created a subscription. So protocol is email. I'm getting notified using email. So I'll be specifying an email here, and subscription policies and all fine. Everything is actually we can configure it as per our need. So as I'll be specifying the email ID here, then I'll be specifying my email ID. Something I could specify here, and then what I'll be doing is create subscription. After clicking on the create subscription, I would be getting a pop-up here. So this is how you have chosen to subscribe to the topic AR and SNS. This is how you need to confirm. So first you need to confirm your subscription, then only you'll be getting notified here. So later on I'll be writing is there are some changes that need to be done here is the Lambda handler. This is the main point that we need to consider. The Lambda starts working from here, Lambda function, Lambda handler. This is the entry point to our code actually, Lambda handler. This is the entry point that it is taking, and within the loops this everything will comes under. So this script what I have written is using a Python. So the Lambda uses a special thing, that is a Boto3 scripts. Boto3 scripts which are written by AWS itself to communicate with the EC2 instance in with the use of scripted method, I would say. So basically I'll be telling you how it is done. I have configured the destination here. So SNS topic here, and as I already said that I'll be carrying the ARN of this thing topic. ARN of this topic. So I'll be copying this ARN. So I'll be specifying here actually basically, so that into the lambda function knows that the destination. So I'll be specifying either on what condition. If the code is executed a success, then only I need to notify, or if any failure, then notify it. So I can specify here. So this is how it is done. So one more thing, now configurations. This is one of the main thing that we need to consider, the runtime and the runtime timeout, I would say. The Lambda has a limitations that it can only run up to 15 minutes. Within the 15 minutes, the code has to be executed. So in the initial, it was given with the 3 seconds so that there would be an error. So the code cannot be executed within the 3 seconds. Then we move forward to changing the time with mostly appropriately we could mention it something around, but I have mentioned it around 10 seconds, 10 minutes, sorry, so that the code can execute it within the time. So here we can see which are the triggers that are specified to the Lambda function and what are the permissions that the Lambda has, and the destination SNS success and the condition is on success. So this is how it is, and we can even configure the alias names and the environmental variable to it as well. If we are having any environmental variables, we can specify without mentioning it in our code. If you are mentioning within the code, then it is a vulnerability, I would say. We are exposed to an attack. So we keep our confidential things and in environmental variable, and so can and we can access it all over whenever we can wanted to. And so basically, as I said, the code runs with a lambda boto 3. So we need to import a module called boto 3, and we are talking with an OS, import an OS. So as I said, so I'm taking a boto 3 as a client, so I'm calling it and I'm placing it in a variable so that I could call it in as a variable format. So I'm declaring a function here. So the subject is the subject and a message. So I am keeping this as a thing actually, as I have taken the ARN of the topic, then I will be specifying here the ARN of this topic. And this lambda function here, our code starts executing the instance ID. This is I manually did. Manually, I have configured the instance ID. Instance ID is nothing but a server ID, which is equal. This is the one that I have configured. As of now, you can see that this is running state. So what I will be doing is, and what I have done is I can start and stop the instances using the lambda function. So basically, if the action is equals to start, the response should go to the EC2 dot start instances. The instances, it should have an variable content. So on which variable? So we are specifying the instances with the instance ID here. So we are calling this in the here, and we are capturing it in this instance IDs. So this is a predefined value by the AWS, and we are specifying for the notification of the message, which need to be we need to get in our emails. So I have specified a structure to it with this method, and I am calling the variable here with the instance ID. I am calling the instance ID, and it is, if I am going with the start instance, then it will be specifying that your EC2 instance with the instance ID has been started, and the same goes with the stop function as well. So elsewhere, if there is nothing, if the instance ID is not found or something like that, then it will be showing this error. And return code success 200 is something we could know that the instance is running. I mean, the code execution is done. Success what I could say, success block, I could say. So as of now, I've showed you that this is in running state. Then I'll be just what I'll be doing is, apart from I'll go to this and go to the stop mode. What I'll be doing is I'll just give a thing here. So basically, to work in the very beginning, if you are running this code, you need to first after writing the code, you need to give this deploy. Deploy in the sense it will take the input. I mean, the code will be taken by the Lambda. So now you have to run this code. So what you'll be doing is you'll be giving a test here. So in the test here, you'll be need to create a new new event. So as this is an event driven mechanism, so you'll be specifying a start or stop something. So this is how you specify it actually. So Then later on, what you'll be doing is what type of action. So here we have an action is equals to key. I mean, the action is equals to start and action is equals to stop. So we'll be specifying which types of thing we need to describe. I have, as I already described here. So these are the stop. Actually, this stop was a spelling mistake. This should be a start one, and the stop one is the one which is going to stop actually. So in this, I have specified the in this bracket. I have specified that action is equals to start. So something like this in the first. There are two tests I have created. One is stop and start. So I would say there are two templates within this. So now as you see, this is already a running state. So what I'll be doing is I will be stopping it, and let's see how it goes. As you can see, the instances ID and the status block. As I said that in the response, the success code is this. It will return with this. And as we have given the variable within the code and which is capturing the data. So the instance ID what we have specified is this and has been stopped now. So we'll be checking whether this is stopped or not. As you can see that the state is now stopping state. So let's verify whether we have received a mail stating that. So as you can see, so it's been yeah. So it's been 12:38 p.m. So it's now we received that EC2 instance with an instance ID has been stopped. So we even got notified actually. So this is one of the thing, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the server as well. Let it completely stop. Yeah, now it's fine. Now what we'll be doing is now we will spin up the instance by using the Lambda function. As we have stopped now we will be going with start. So I have selected the template of stop, which should be of the it's in a type O error. It should be of start. So what I'll be doing is I'll be giving a start here. So as you see that the statement is given that the EC2 instance with the ID has been started. So fine, let's go and check whether the instance is started. Now we can see the stage is now in pending state. Let's have it will take a bit movement to get its state ready. Now the 12:39 we got a statement that EC2 instance has started. So this is how it is. So now we have our EC2 instance running with the using of Lambda function. We can even modify this figure, I mean with an interaction with the website. So we can give a chatbot to it, and we can do the same thing actually, and we can configure the things in a very systematic method, and the UI interface can be changed. Now as I am running the as I am running the instances, stopping and starting the instances within the Lambda function, what I can do is I can integrate this like an somewhat called as an API in the Lax chatbot and or with the API calls as well. So without using an Amazon account, so we can stop and start the instances. So for that I have a code written actually. Give me a moment, I'll be sharing. So I have written this Lambda function with the use of Boto3 scripts and ChatGPT as well. So I have configured, even I have tested running this actually. Even I got the logs, CloudWatch logs as well. So the session state and all we have received it. So the import both of three scripts and all, we specify the intent chatbot name and all. So, but the specifying the stop EC2, start EC2 in the website itself. The website, after giving in the website, I mean the UI interface in the index.html, I have specifying one API so that it could run. This is how it ends. Thank you.
Okay, well done, well done. So, do you know what is the real-time use case of this?
Lambda function, sir. So the resources what we are running in our EC2 instances, it will check. I mean, not in the EC2 instance, in a whole. I mean, we can. This is used for triggering something, sir, like event driven. So cron jobs, scheduling cron jobs or something. It has to be done in a particular time, or something called if we have to get notified that what are the services that we are running in our whole AWS account, and we get notified so that we can be cautious and we can be alert according to the billings. And we can even configure it in such a way that if the billing is reaching our budget, this thing has to be triggered and we need to get this notification to our emails or a Slack channel. We can even configure it in Slack channels as well.
So just let me tell you one thing, right? So this is good that now you know how to start using Lambda function, okay, how to manage the instance start and stop. Now,
Yes.
when you go for an interview and you claim that you have experience, so your experience should demonstrate that you have done a real-time application with a real-time use case. Okay.
Yes.
So now in GTS, let's say you have a microservice, okay, which
Okay.
does some data transformation, data migration, okay, and it needs to run in the night 10 p.m. It should start, and once the data migration is over from one server to another server, then it should stop it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what you need to do is you need to automate this entire process, and your Lambda function will start the EC2 instance. It will run that job or the Java program which is inside it. It will do the transformation. Once it is done, data migration also, then it will stop the instance so that you will pay only the amount of time for which your EC2 instance is running.
Yes, sir.
Got it? So that is a real-time use case. So that kind of use cases you will do at GTS so that go for interview, then you don't say that, yeah, I know how to do it, but rather you say that I have worked in a project where I have used it like this.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I will, as I mentioned previously, that you can microservice deployment using this Lambda function as well. So like
Sure, sure, sure.
microservice exposes certain API. That API is not used every time, 24 hours.
Okay,
When
okay.
someone hits the API, they need to use it. So in that case, what will happen is they will hit the API. If the instance is already running, then good. If no, then it will launch the instance, and then it will run the API. It will use it for its purpose. So once it is done, then automatically your Lambda function will expire, and that instance will be down, so that you can save your money.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yes, sir.
on demand, you launch the instance also and application, then use it. So once it is done, then you shut it down. So that you are out of 24 hours. What happens is normally if we are manually installing it in a EC2 server or any other places, it runs constantly. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you can automate this kind of thing in any organization and save their money, that is where you value. And
Yes, sir.
every
Okay.
company needs people who can save their money, who can reduce their expenses.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to give you one microservice now. Okay, I will share it. So okay, did you explore API gateway also?
No, sir. Actually, it was given to me, but Mustang has given. I think Mustang
Mastung
has.
is about to do it. Mastung, have you explored now API gateway?
No, sir. Problem now.
So maybe we both will work on it, sir. We need to time
So
and we
I'm
need
not
to learn.
expecting you do it in very thoroughly, but you just understand in high level what API gateway is giving, because our microservice requires both.
Yes, sir.
It will end to end. First, it will deploy through Lambda function. Then it needs to be configured in API gateway. Then you will call it from the Postman. Once you
Okay,
call
okay.
it from Postman and you are able to use, then you will interacting and working with the UI team, where UI team will use those APIs to integrate with their UI application.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So tomorrow then you will present it on API gateway, AWS API gateway.
Yes, I need to work on it actually. So you mean to say that API gateway need to write code with Java
No, no,
or?
no, 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 no. API gateway, you just why don't you open console? Go to AWS console. Let me just quickly brief you.
Is
Open
it-
API gateway. Can you share the screen?
Sir, it's already shared, I guess.
We are seeing you.
Okay, okay. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah. So you need to create an API gateway instance here. Okay, and then there are multiple ways to set the APIs: HTTP, WebSocket, and REST API. So learn what are those three different types, and some you can take some YouTube videos and create some instances here and play around it.
Sure, sir.
Okay, just basic knowledge you gain. Then I will give you the microservice so the real time you can practice.
Okay, okay. So, if possible, the services that you have said that you will be giving a microservice architecture to be configured with Lambda and API.
Ha, ha.
So, is there any logic that you can give so that I could work on it?
Oh, so I'm going to give you a ready-made application and along with YouTube video also, which we had created in the past. So you just follow that YouTube video and do it. So once you do it, once this complete deployment, then you will understand all the surrounding integration.
Yeah, sure, sure, sir.
Okay. All
Okay, sir.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.